The Essence of Divine Perception, a story of spiritual growth. Once upon a time, in a serene and peaceful village nestled by the banks of a tranquil river, there lived a wise sage named Vishnupriya. Known for his deep spiritual insights, he had spent many years in meditation and study, and people from near and far sought his guidance. Among them was a young seeker named Kavi, who had recently begun his spiritual journey. Kavi had heard that God could be perceived in different ways, but he found it difficult to understand how one could see the divine in everything around them. One day, Kavi approached sage Vishnupriya and humbly asked, "Master, I have been taught that God resides in the deity form, and that we can worship him through rituals and offerings. But I wonder, is this the only way to perceive the divine, or is there a deeper way to understand his presence?" Sage Vishnupriya smiled gently and invited Kavi to sit beside him by the riverbank. "Kavi," he said, "this is a profound question. To answer it, I will share with you a story that reflects the various ways in which people perceive the divine, based on their spiritual understanding." The sage continued, "In the ancient scriptures, it is said that for those who are twice born, those who have received spiritual initiation and have been raised in a tradition of wisdom, fire, Agni, represents a manifestation of God. Fire is pure, transformative, and sacred. It is through fire that many rituals are performed, and it is believed that in the flames of Agni, the divine presence can be invoked. For those who are just beginning their spiritual journey, fire serves as a bridge between the material and the spiritual, allowing them to connect with the divine." Kavi listened attentively, and sage Vishnupriya continued, "However, there is a deeper understanding. The true nature of the Supreme Lord is not limited to any one form or symbol. He resides in the heart of his devotees. The heart is the most sacred place, for it is within the hearts of all beings that the divine presence dwells. It is said that the Lord resides within us all, and through devotion and purity, we can realize his presence in our own hearts." Kavi pondered the sage's words and asked, "But Master, I still don't fully understand. How can we perceive God in our hearts? I have always been taught to worship him through idols and rituals. Is this not the only way?" Sage Vishnupriya replied, "For those with average intelligence, those who are just beginning their spiritual practice, known as Alpa Buddhi or Kanista Adhikari, seeing God in his Srimurti, deity form, is a natural way to connect with the divine. They worship through idols, images, and rituals, as these tangible forms help focus the mind and cultivate devotion. For them, God is real and present in the form of the deity they worship, and this helps them build love and connection with the divine." But, the sage continued, there are also those with broad vision, individuals who have developed deeper spiritual insight. These people do not limit their perception of God to a single form. They see the Supreme Lord in everything, in nature, in every living being, in the sky, in the earth, in every moment. They understand that the divine is not confined to idols or rituals, but is omnipresent. To them, every leaf, every stone, every creature is an expression of the divine. They see the Lord in all things, and in doing so, they experience a deeper, more profound connection with him. Kavi's mind began to open as he listened, but he still had one more question. "Master, how can one develop such a vision? How can we see God in everything, in all people and situations?" Sage Vishnupriya smiled knowingly and replied, "It is a matter of spiritual maturity, Kavi. As you practice devotion, meditate, and purify your heart, your perception of the divine will evolve. With time, you will begin to see the Lord everywhere. But it requires humility, selflessness, and love. The more you open your heart to the divine, the more you will recognize his presence in all that surrounds you. The key is to realize that the divine is not separate from you, it is within you, and it is within all things." Kavi felt a deep sense of peace and understanding after hearing the sage's teachings. He realized that his spiritual journey was not just about rituals or external forms, but about cultivating an inner awareness and seeing the divine in everything around him. He thanked sage Vishnupriya for his wisdom and promised to practice these teachings in his life. Moral of the story: the perception of the divine varies based on one's spiritual development. For those who are just beginning their journey, God may be perceived through idols, rituals, and symbols. But for those with deeper spiritual insight, the divine is seen everywhere, in all beings, in nature, and in every moment of life. True spiritual growth lies in realizing the omnipresence of the divine and cultivating a deeper connection to the Lord that transcends form and ritual. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.